Oh, he got rejected. We all had a swell time singing when that ship flew over us, but we can't truly rejoice until the calm comes. From what I hear, Sin's crash into Prevel has wreaked utter havoc on the city. I mean, yeah, sure, but it's not really a real place anyway. A lot of people are leaving Bevel. I hear the temple's really clamping down on things here. There, I should say. They're clamping down on things there. So it appears that the person that did let us know that there was something in here is gone. Remember, there was like a clue here, right? To start on one of the airship treasures. And there was somebody that would say that there was something in there that he couldn't read. That kid is gone now. It's kind of weird. You would think this is when we needed him the most, but you'd be wrong, apparently. The game disagrees. You don't need him anymore. Maybe it's because I found it. Maybe he disappeared when I found it. I don't know all the mechanics of the game. Some of them are still hidden from me. But we will head up here. How you doing? I'll protect Spira from now on. Sin beat us last time, but I'm okay. Oh, that's like a full-on Crusader? Looks like a kid. My brother and I were playing, then a fiend came out and he ran away without me. So mean. Then again, I'm mean too. I kicked that kid's soccer ball, I think. My grandpa and I, we used to take a stroll through here almost every day. That sounds dangerous. Don't know why so many people are here when there's fiends everywhere around here. Some people just like hanging out in like these dungeon areas. And I don't fully understand it. I didn't see anybody over there. There's a Hypello over there. That's kind of interesting. Yes, Spira is a much calmer place when you have no encounters on. That flying ship will bring about the calm. Absolutely. If I can. And I have a good feeling that I can. I think it takes 2 hits. I'll probably just double check once. Just be like, how does this fight with the final boss actually go now that I can just absolutely devastate him? I was walking and ended up here. Where am I? What place is this? The Hypellos are kind of roaming around a lot more than they used to. I took a bad hit fighting Sin. I couldn't walk for a while. I'm all good now and back to guarding the Highroad. How are you doing? Fiends often appear here, but people pass through here regardless. Yeah, about that. Like, seriously, I have some questions about that. Does everybody just run? Does everybody have a weapon? What's the deal? Why do people fight here? How do they fight? Do they fight? I don't know. Even for a moment of fleeting calm, I want to feel peace from my heart. That's nice. You probably shouldn't hang out in dungeons then. And we've made it to the midway point. Let's see what's going on over here. There's some people. I guess all children are innocent, whether they are ours or Albed. Yeah, just the children, apparently. Hey, Albed kids. I'm taking care of the chocobos. Take good care of them when you ride them, okay? No. I wanted to ride on the ship too. It was a great battle, right? I mean, a little, but if you were on the ship, you wouldn't have noticed. You look like Nada? I think it's Nada. I will be angry if those Yevon monks hurt the children. I do not think they will, but I cannot trust them. They won't. They're fine. Maybe. All right, let's head inside here, where we should have 1 or 2 people to talk to. Weapons, armor, and food are sold here. Purchase at the counter. Welcome to Rin's travel agency. You don't have anything to say. Welcome to Rin's travel agency. Nothing to say. I thought I'd quit the Crusaders for good, but singing the hymn changed my mind. I can't just sit around while those guys on the flying ship are risking their lives fighting Sin. I guess that's one way to look at it. We will head up and see what else I can find in the distance. Wow, Chocobo tried to fly a bit there. Alright, let's keep on going. We could take the Chocobo, but we'll foot it. It feels better doing it on feet, for me, to be honest with you. Plus, there's a few people around here to talk to still. I'm sure. There are. And it's a little difficult trying to talk to people when you're on a chocobo. I heard Sin isn't dead yet. Won't it ever give up? If we still had the cans from the operation, we could have shelled it good. Yeah. If you guys had timed things better, now would be super useful for you. But no. That's just not going to be the case. Let's continue and see what else I can find. Well, who else I can find, really. We are just looking for people. My dad is riding on an airship. Good for you, Albed kid. I'll probably talk to them at some point. That ship is an Albed Machina, right? I can't believe the clergy's relying on it. Yeah, we're not the clergy. Clergy is doing fuck all to help. They're actually trying to prevent us from helping because they're trying to stay in power. There aren't many guards beyond here, so watch it. Another fake Volucha. When we saw that Machina airship, we sang. That Albed kid did too. Strange how we can all sing the same song even though we don't speak the same language. Yet, there is like a lot of interesting things about that song. The Hymn of the Faith does have words to it, but they're kind of... it's kind of like a code. They have Japanese sounds that they're making, and if you line it up properly, then it does actually give you lyrics. It's interesting. Can I not talk to you? We've been so busy with guard duty, we've been using that cage as shelter. Praise be to Yevon that nobody cleared it after the operation. And I talked to you, but I did not... Oh, you're just the chocobo lady. So we will head out into the old road, where I do believe there are still a couple people. And we'll see what they have to say. Now, we're making pretty good progress through the game. Once again, no encounters and no plot makes things go by much more quickly. Is there anybody out here? They all left? Looks like they all left. But we should be able to go down the old road. I would think. God, I still have a hard time getting used to some of the controls when the camera starts moving on me. Like I said, when the camera moves, you keep on going the same way so you can just hold it. But as soon as you want to change direction, you have to recalculate based on where the camera is now. So I'm holding straight down right now, but then like if I move slightly to the left, then he goes way to the left because of that. That was very much the problem with the chocobo racing as well. The camera would move and then I would have to adjust myself. So here I'm going maybe like 5 degrees to the right, and that's how far he goes to the right because of the camera movement. It's something I never really got used to. This was early on in the PlayStation 2. This wasn't a launch title for the PlayStation 2, but it was really early on. It was the first Square Enix game, I believe, for... Well, technically it was Squaresoft at the time, but it was the first Square game for the PlayStation 2. And it really was just... In terms of graphics, it was groundbreaking. And it really did show what the PlayStation 2 was capable of, even early on. Well, some of what the PlayStation 2 was capable of. Some of the later titles do look better than the original Final Fantasy X, but it really was eye-opening to a lot of people. What? I held up and he ran towards the camera. I was just talking about the camera, and then it worked against me. Fiends are on the rampage. Be on your guard. Alright, now I can go in here. I don't believe there is much back here. But we'll see what's hanging out where the Crusaders' headquarters was. Of course, we ran through here to try to avoid the Dark Mage's sisters. That was an interesting fight. I am glad that I took it on. I don't remember if I said it very clearly when we were doing that, but if you just hang out and fight all 3 Mage's sisters at once, you lose. So really the only way to win is to run away and take them on at least 1 or 2 at a time. So you can take on 2 and still win, and then you can take on the third one by itself. And that is a feasible thing to do. But it's much easier taking them on 1 at a time. If you do all 3, they instantly have their overdrive gauge full, and they'll go for their overdrive, and that will kill you. I don't think they give you any time to bypass it, try to get out of life or anything like that going. But even if you do get like one or 2 characters' turns before then, chances are not good that you'll be able to fully recover from that, really, ever. That's right, that leads me down. So there is somebody here, still hanging out where the Crusaders were. It looks like an Al-Bed up there. And we will see what he has to say, if anything. Is he just the lift operator? This Machina's had it completely busted. I will try salvaging its parts. Oh, so much for that. The sea breeze really rusted away this baby. No point repairing it. Probably won't work anyway. So we came all this way, and we can't go back to where the Crusaders actually hung out. That is not a thing that we can do. I guess fair enough. All right. Let's head out some more. And we'll continue along Mushroom Rock Road and Djose Temple and all that kind of stuff, which is around here. Like I said, this game, when you don't have fights and plot and boss fights and all that kind of stuff, then it goes by relatively quickly. There's not nearly as big of a world as you think, and that's when I start realizing how much of this game kind of feels like a narrow hallway, but the plot kind of distracts you from that. Final Fantasy XII, I'll just go ahead and kind of talk about it logistically. I feel like it was a response to that feeling in this one. I don't believe Final Fantasy XII had a world map either, but the game feels like a gigantic open world. I feel like they were going for a single-player MMO type feel, and up until I played Xenoblade, I felt it was the best single-player MMO game out there. Now that I've played Xenoblade Chronicles, I feel like that's better. But, of course, it came out several years after Final Fantasy XII, and there's no way they weren't looking at Final Fantasy XII and seeing what they were doing and kind of adapting that to something that works out well for them, and I think they did a good job of that. But Final Fantasy XII, I felt like, was a response to kind of the narrow hallway feel that this game has. Once you start going through it a lot, yeah, there's nothing up there anymore. There's nobody up there. That's where we got the rusty sword. Or no, that's where we powered up the rusty sword. So we know there's nothing there now. Let's head out and make it back to the battlefield. Nobody hanging out on this side. Once again, it doesn't look like you can actually go down here, but you can. It's the only time you can climb up that in the game. Does he say that? The warrior monks who were patrolling the Highroad have left. They've been ordered to protect the palace in St. Pavel. Of course, Pavel's security is important too. But who will look after our safety now? That is a decent question. That is something to think about. Doesn't look like anybody's over there, so let's head further down the Djose Highroad now that we've made it past the Mushroom Rock Road. It's important to keep these names somewhat in your head. Somewhat. Let's head forward. Now officially on the Djose Highroad. Luckily no encounters around here, so I don't have to worry about getting petrified all the damn time. Those things can be nasty. But we will find a chocobo in the distance. That's always nice. Do like the chocobos. I've always been a fan of the chocobos, and I think this is the first one where they actually wear something similar to armor. It's not very good armor, but it kind of gives the impression of war chocobos, which I've always thought should be a thing in Final Fantasy. Talk to you. Unbelievable, a flying ship that sings. My jaw dropped when I saw it. A huge crowd gathered along the high road, and they all sang along, arm in arm. That's nice. All right. Let's head to Djose Temple. And we will... Oh, we're behind you all the way. Good luck. That's nice. Me and more people question the teachings these days. I hope it doesn't lead to another tragedy like Operation Mi'ihen. We're facing tough times. The monks all seem dejected, and hardly anyone visits the temple anymore. I'm okay, though. I'll live by the teachings no matter what. There is nothing I can do but pray. My faith in Yevon will never die. These monkeys, although they are very cool, they never really became part of the plot, and I kind of wish that happened. And we have made it to Djose Temple, and we will have to pick up from here. This is taking quite a while, but I'm determined to make it through, and this seems like a good stopping point for me today. That is going to do it for these bonus episodes of Let's Play Final Fantasy X. I've been ballerscuba. I've been joined, as always, by my curious talkers, Waka, Lulu, Riku, Tidus, Yuna, Orin, and Kamari. Hope you guys have enjoyed these parts. Hope you laughed. Hope you learned. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.